Hey friends, Gary here. Today I'm very excited to share my top 5 favorite micro four thirds lens of 2024. Wow, time passes by quickly this year. All of a sudden it's already the end of the year. And now I want to share 5 lenses that has special place in my heart, the ones that I really enjoy using the most. I want to emphasize the word enjoy because there are some other micro four thirds lenses that I use even more frequently compared to these 5 lenses. However, not that I don't enjoy them, but these 5s are really special. For example, the Olympus 12 to 40mm f2.8 right here, I use it very frequently, almost every day in fact, to record some b-rolls, to capture some thumbnail pictures for my YouTube videos. So I frequently use this lens, but it's not as enjoyable as the 5 lenses that I will share today. And also another example is this 7 Artisan 35mm f2 lens for my Leica M camera. I enjoy this lens, but again, it's not a micro four thirds lens, and also I don't really enjoy this guy as much as the other lenses that I will mention after this. As I mentioned in my other videos, photography isn't just about the perfect result, the sharp images, the details, the contrast, the colors. It's not just about that. It's also about having fun when you're out and about using your gear, your lenses. You have to feel that special connection, and this video is all about that fun and enjoyment of using camera gear. Enough babbling, let's start with the first lens, and it's the Panasonic Lumix 14mm f2.5. This is my new favorite do-it-all prime lens. I think it has to do with the combination of the focal length and the large aperture. 14mm, it's very flexible. I'm more of a wide angle kind of guy, and 14mm is more than enough for me for most kind of situations, for scenery, for portrait, environmental portrait, for street photography, for general out and about photography. If I have to make an analogy comparing it to food, this is probably my favorite burger. Maybe it's going to be Five Guys or In-N-Out Burger. It's just delicious, it's just quick and easy. I can eat it anytime for breakfast, lunch or dinner. It's always yummy, it has good portion, and it's just very practical, and it tastes way above average. Oh yeah, by the way, in this video I will be doing a lot of food analogies, so you have to bear with me with that. Maybe that will make you feel hungry. I'm sorry for that. I'm hungry too right now. Anyway, image quality of the 14mm f2.5 is just excellent. Everything is sharp, everything is contrasty, very detailed, and for a lens of this price and this size, it's just amazing. One thing that I want to note from the 14mm f2.5 is that it has this organic, almost filmic kind of quality on the pictures. It looks really nice in my opinion. It's not like a modern lens. Not that it's not contrasty, it is very contrasty and very detailed, but it's just a different kind of look that I really enjoy, and it's also a little bit nostalgic. Other than that, the f2.5 aperture is quite large, not the largest on prime lenses, but it's more than enough to get that extra background blur as well as for low light performance. Now that I've spent some time with this lens, another thing that I really appreciate from this guy is the size. It's just so compact. It's a pancake lens. It's easy to carry around, and it's the best for travel photography. Next lens is quite a surprise for me because it's not an easy lens to use, but surprisingly I use it a lot this year and I've been enjoying this lens. So it's the Olympus 75mm f1.8. The focal length 75mm makes it quite a niche focal length. You can only use it for a few things, but if you get the proper chance to use this lens, especially for distant landscape photography or for portrait, which this lens really shines, then you'll be rewarded with amazing pictures with the great result, and it's just excellent. If this lens is a meal, then it would be a nice plate of steak with a nice side of baked potatoes and sauteed veggies and also mushroom sauce with a nice glass of wine. Oh my god, I can only eat it for dinner, but that dinner will blow me away. So yeah, the image quality, undoubtedly this is one of the sharpest lens in Micro Four Thirds camera format. For portrait, the background blur, especially with the combination of the large f1.8 aperture and the 75mm focal length, will blow you away. Everything looks nice and creamy, and also the sharpness is just excellent. Contrast, colors, everything just looks so great with this 75mm lens. Anyway, in Micro Four Thirds world, this lens isn't exactly small, especially if you compare it with other Micro Four Thirds prime lenses. However, considering that this is equivalent to 150mm in full frame with large aperture of f1.8, I think this is still a compact and small lens relative to what it is. Next lens is the Panasonic Leica 15mm f1.7. So yeah, this is a very similar lens, especially in terms of focal length compared to the Panasonic Lumix 14mm that I just mentioned earlier. This is larger compared to the 14, but still a small and compact lens nevertheless. So I mentioned before that I'm more of a wide angle kind of guy. So yeah, lenses like the 14mm and the 15mm resonate more compared to other lenses, telephoto lenses or ultra wide angle lenses, things like that. So coming back to the food analogy, if 14mm is my fast food kind of burger, 5 guys in and out, then the 15mm is definitely my more proper gourmet burger. So maybe this is like Red Robin, so the meat is better quality, the buns is crispier but more soft inside, and then the sauce is much punchier, and it comes with the sides of French fries and a nice cup of iced lemon tea. Just excellent, and now it really makes me hungry. So this is everything that I love about the 14mm, but the 15mm is slightly different. It has a more modern, contrasty kind of look, and also it has slightly larger aperture, making it better for blurring background and low light performance. And also it is slightly larger, so I don't tend to use this guy for travel as much as the 14mm, but still no problem traveling with this guy at all. I went to Bali carrying this lens as my primary lens, and I took many great shots. Image quality undoubtedly really good, so good, in fact it's worth the Leica name right there. Anyway, a few weeks ago I made a comparison video comparing the 15mm Panasonic Leica to the 14mm Panasonic Lumix lens. You can check that video up here if you want to learn more about the similarities and differences between the 15 and 14. Next lens is the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 32mm f3.5 to f5.6 kit lens. So I tend to gravitate towards smaller lens like the Panasonic Leica 15 or the Panasonic Lumix 14. So the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 32mm is not an exception right here. I use it a lot this year for like travel photography and also to capture sceneries and landscape. This is just a kit lens, it's quite an ordinary lens, nothing too special about this guy, but it just works. So if we're comparing it to a meal, then it would be a pizza. It's not amazing, but it tastes great, it's comfortable, it's practical, it's quick and easy, and I can just eat it anytime. I mean, like Thursday night and pizza, wow, it just works together, it's comfortable, and you're guaranteed to be satisfied. I think what's amazing from this lens is the ability to zoom with its quite useful focal length. 12mm is quite wide angle. Again, I'm a wide angle kind of guy, and you can zoom in to 32mm. Already moderate telephoto, so you can zoom in for distant landscape photography or just, you know, for close-up, things like that. And yeah, this lens doesn't really have large aperture like the other prime lenses that I just mentioned, but even so, it's not a big deal for me. The flexibility of being able to zoom actually makes it worth in my collection, and also one of my favorite because it's just a comfortable lens. If you don't know which lens to choose, then I would choose this guy. Image quality is fantastic for a kit lens, especially at this small and compact size. Everything just looks sharp, everything just looks detailed, it's contrasty. The only minor flaw with the 12 to 32 is it's quite prone to flaring and ghosting, especially if you're shooting directly to a bright light source like the sun. Last but not least, you guys might probably know what lens is next, especially if you are a follower of my channel. No surprise here, it's the Panasonic Lumix 35 to 100mm f4 to f5.6. No list would be complete without this lens. I mean, this is just the spirit of Micro Four Thirds. It's small, it's lightweight, very compact, great image quality, and not too expensive. This is what Micro Four Thirds was all about. I don't know what Micro Four Thirds is all about these days, but back then this is what drew me into the camera system. Now comparing the 35 to 100mm to a meal, this would be my favorite meal of all, and that is Cuban roast sandwich. From outside, when you look at this meal, it doesn't look special. It just looks like a regular sandwich. But when you observe it closer, you start to notice the meat is very juicy. The bread is just very crunchy but soft inside and very tasty. There's caramelized onion, there's like fresh veggies, and then that punchy sauce, and you don't have to eat a lot of it. You just need to eat a few bites and then you'll start to understand that this meal is special. Wow, oh my god, it makes me really hungry right now. I'm still amazed by the fact that this is equivalent to 70 to 200mm in full frame terms, but it can fit on the palm of my hand. But this lens isn't just about being small and lightweight. The image quality is also great. Everything is sharp, everything is detailed, the contrast is there. This lens is not compromising at all. It doesn't have large f2.8 aperture, but the small size making it perfect for travel photography, for landscape photography where you don't really need that large aperture. You can use this for portraits as well. It will give you that unique kind of look, but with slightly less blurry background. Not a big deal for me at all. The focal length 35 to 100mm is also quite special for me. I think this is my sweet spot for telephoto lens. Again, I'm more of a wide angle kind of guy, so this is kind of special for me. It breaks my addiction to those wide angle focal lengths, and I started to learn more about distant landscape photography, about compression, about composition using longer telephoto lens using this guy. So I appreciate it so much. Anyway, I wanna give an honorable mention to this guy right here. This is the Panasonic Lumix 100 to 300mm f4 to f5.6 ultra telephoto lens. So I used this guy for a challenge for a week, trying to implement it to my everyday photography, trying to capture some pictures, trying to make myself to become more creative with this lens, and it kind of worked and I really enjoyed this lens. However, it is still a very difficult focal length to implement in everyday photography. It's not every day that you can use this kind of lens, so it doesn't make it to my main list. It's just an honorable mention. If I want to make a comparison of this lens to a certain type of food, it will be a birthday cake. It tastes delicious, it is sweet, it is very fulfilling and satisfying. However, you cannot eat it every day. It'll make you sick eventually. Nevertheless, the quality of this lens is really great. This is the first version. I believe there is a newer second version which supposedly be a little bit sharper and also weather sealed. But with this guy, I can produce nice quality pictures, telephoto pictures, and everything just looks nice, sharp, detailed, contrasty. The autofocus is a little bit struggling, not because it is slow, but again, this is an ultra telephoto focal length, so I expect things to be a little bit slower compared to normal regular focal lengths. Another honorable mention is the Panasonic Lumix 14 to 140mm f3.5 to f5.6 super zoom lens. I really enjoy this lens. It's a very convenient lens. You can just zoom in and zoom out and capture any kind of photography objects that you need to capture with just one single lens. However, that makes it the Achilles heel of this lens. Because everything is too easy, I don't enjoy it as much as the other lens. Again, I believe that a little bit of healthy restriction will make me more creative, and that's the case with this lens. It's not making me creative because it's too convenient. There's no challenge whatsoever when using this lens. If I compare this lens to a type of food, then it will be fried chicken. It's convenient, you just eat it and you'll feel amazed, satisfied, it's delicious, but it's nothing special, and although you can eat it every day, you'll get bored of it eventually. Anyway, that wraps up my 5 favorite Micro Four Thirds lenses for 2024. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, and inspiring for you. I hope you like this video, so please share down below what is your favorite lens of the year. Please let me know and let's have a little bit of discussion. Also, if you have any question, please comment down below as well and I will try my best to answer them. Also, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. Or if you want to support my work even further, consider using the affiliate links down below or use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.